Good morning, all you faithful people of God. I give you the Easter greeting. Hallelujah, Christ is risen. We listen to the hymn, Come down, O love divine. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. In today's Gospel, Jesus said to his disciples, "A new commandment I give you, love one another as I have loved you. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." The 10 Commandments was given to Moses as a gift. The gift of a loving God who desires the best for his people. Jesus' commandment to love reminds his followers that he has loved them and they are to love one another in the same way. St. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, wrote, "Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." If ever there was a topic which could qualify as the most thought about, written about, talked about, and sung about, it is certainly love. William Shakespeare wrote, "Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with a remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. Catherine Moore said, "Life is too short for drama and petty things. So laugh hard, love truly, and forgive quickly. Tell the people you love that you love them at every opportunity." The great legend Stevie Wonder sang, "I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart." In its simplest form, our responsibility as Christians is to love God and love people. The gospel can be summed up in one word, and that word is love. The love of God and the love of our neighbor are inseparable. You cannot claim to love God if you don't love your neighbor. Jesus indicated that our priority was to have a vertical relationship with God and then a horizontal relationship with others. Jesus calls us to respond to others with love, compassion, and caring, regardless of racial barriers, social or religious differences. If we loved perfectly, if we were able to be truly committed to other people, then there would be no more violence, hatred, and war. And what we say and do would only be gentle, kind, loving, and caring. The world in 2022 is in great transition. In politics, economics, culture, the environment, natural disasters, national protests, the unbelievable lockdown in China, and the pandemic of COVID-19. The war in Ukraine is a wake-up call to the world. In a war, no one really wins. Everyone pays a very high price. The carnage, waste, and destruction are always enormous. Ukraine may be the epicenter, but the ripple effects are being felt around the world. St. Paul wisely wrote, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." We are moving towards something new and at times very frightening in our world. What good is our faith if our beliefs don't make any difference in the way we live and in the ways we act? It is not enough to believe something. We must live it as well. Being a Christian is about passion, and Christianity is about God's passion for the world, that the world itself will be transformed in the direction of God's dream, a world of love, justice, and peace. Love is about seeing people through the eyes of God. Far too often, our love is conditional. We love those who love us, or we love those who can help us in return. St. John in his first letter wrote, "We love because God first loved us." There is a story about a little boy who was trying to learn the Lord's Prayer. One night as he knelt at his bed, he said these words, "Our Father, who art in heaven, how do you know my name?" We must never forget that we are made in the image of the extraordinary love of God. And this means acting like God, who shows no partiality, who loves every human being on earth. The greatest lesson that COVID-19 has taught us is that this is the time for forgiveness, a time for building communities of faith, a time for building a civilization of love. King Solomon wrote, "Many waters can't quench love, neither can floods drown it." As a church, we are reminded of the words of St. Paul, "Most of all, let love guide your life, for then the whole church will stay together in perfect harmony." Pope Francis said, I quote, "Loving like Jesus requires us to put aside other loves offered by the world, like the love of money, success, or power. These deceptive paths distance us from the love of God and leads us to become more and more selfish and overbearing. This leads to a degeneration of love, to abuse others, to making our loved ones suffer." Unquote. One thing is universally clear. Everyone knows that love is something they need. All of us want to be loved and to love. It is our human nature to draw a circle around ourselves and maintain borders that define who is part of us and who is not. It is the Spirit's nature to push us past our borders and boundaries. Jesus said, "When I am lifted up, I will draw all people to myself." Archbishop Desmond Tutu reminded us, "Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world." There is a story about a man who had a huge boulder in his garden. He grew weary of this big, unattractive stone in the center of his lawn. One day he decided to take advantage of it and turn it into an object of art and sculpture. Using the hammer and chisel, he chipped away at the huge boulder until it became a beautiful stone elephant. When he finished, it was magnificent and breathtaking. A neighbor asked him, "How did you ever carve such a marvelous likeness of an elephant?" And the man answered, "I just chipped away everything that didn't look like an elephant." The challenge for us today is, if you have anything in your life today that doesn't look like love, then with the help of God, chip it away. If you have anything in your life that doesn't look like compassion, mercy, or empathy, then with the love of God, chip it away. If you have hatred, prejudice, vengeance, or envy in your heart, get rid of it. Let God chip everything out of your life that doesn't look like love and tender-heartedness. I end with a prayer of Saint Anselm. Lord Jesus, in your mercy, heal us. In your love and tenderness, remake us. In your compassion, bring grace and forgiveness. For the beauty of heaven, may your love prepare us. Amen. We listen to the chorus. A new commandment I give unto you.
A new
We make our spiritual communion as we pray. Soul of Christ, sanctify me. Body of Christ, save me. Blood of Christ, refresh me. Water from the side of Christ, wash me. Passion of Christ, strengthen me. O good Jesus, hear me. Within your wounds, hide me. Let me never be separated from you. From the malicious enemy, defend me. In the hour of my death, call me and bid me come to you, that with your saints I may praise you forever and ever. Amen. I take this opportunity to wish Kavoli and Faim Thompson God's blessing as they leave South Africa today to settle in the United Kingdom. I am very grateful for their dedication and faithfulness in adding all the images to our Sunday sermons since 2019. They have used their data and time so generously for the work of God. They have made a great commitment to continue editing the sermons from the United Kingdom. What great faithfulness and loyalty. Let us pray for them and their families they leave behind. Heavenly Father, thank you for the extraordinary love, commitment, and creativity that you have bestowed upon Kavoli and Faim. As they journey to make a new life in the United Kingdom, we entrust them into your loving care. We pray for success and joy to be ahead of them, for wisdom and guidance to be beside them, and for grace and truth to be behind them, leading them onwards into your favor and goodness. Bless their beloved families with your peace and the assurance of your love. We offer this prayer in the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. The Celtic blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall softly upon your fields. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen. The dismissal. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah. In the name of Christ. Amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We listen to our closing hymn, Love Divine, or Love's Setting.